And they wrangle him, though. Again,
He's so fast with the face
commitment from Liquid with the sentries, the dust. Like, even if they kill him, he's already really done his job. And then you throw the courier snipes in. Mind control now. In pursuit a bit here. IG, as you mentioned, spreading the map, really pressuring these supports and preventing Liquid from going for that group up play, even if they might want to. Is there a plan B for Liquid? Like, are they all in on this kind of early fighting, this early aggression? Can they try to slow the game down? And
oh, steals a creep. Okay.
Cheeky little bugger.
Boboka? All right, still alive.
Another dust. I mean, he's forced out.
All right,
how many now?
For those that's new to Dota 2, that play, that was not really worth getting the Centaur for his life. But
he forces out a
getting
dust.
into their mind, though, that is...
the psychological warfare, I think in the context of what they're doing, like, those deaths are going to happen. He is there to space crate. He is there to drop wards. As long as the team is farming,
that's really
still coming out on top.
Just like feeling himself a little bit, perhaps a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But, you know, like...
Can't fault him. 2 courier snipes. He's had a hell of a start as XXS continues to make plays, finding GH and cutting him right off of his mount. Now, Liquid start to group up. They want this tier 1 bottom, but they're not really all that quick on sieging. Ursa not really the best building hitter. You don't get the benefit of the Fury swipes there. They don't have any minus armor for structures. They're fighting into the Frost armor, so like when they try to convert kills into objectives, it's slow going.
I think the big thing for me is, where is Miracle's farm? He's been working on this Echo Saber for, you know, a long time now.
Even when it comes online, like, how much will it do? There's Frost armor, there's an Alk who's well on his way to a Manta.
I feel like if there is one major item that he would like to pick up, is probably the Desolator. Really helps out during his Wukong command, and of course, like you've been mentioning, the Frost armor. They need some answer to that. That
was what we saw out of QO, and granted QO had an IO constantly just pocketing him in the mid lane, but they had that really early Deso timing where all of a sudden he dropped Wukong's command, and they, like, 3 heroes basically just died almost instantly to the
Exactly. Well, the difference is that QO had farmed that game. Right now, Miracle's like first in the line to the food bank, like for food stamp. He has nothing.
This is big. Liquid do claim an Aegis, crucial for them. They grabbed that objective, and now they want to chase for more. Miracle leading the charge, springing in to action, but already IG sensing something's not right, and they're away. And you could see Boboka just mirroring their movements across the map now, planting down those aggressive wards, maybe looking for another courier kill. Constant guerrilla warfare here. He might even find a third. Lumi, a little Ice Frog smile on him. He's barely down, and looks like he won't find the opening. Burning getting called out now. He knows Batumba Man's onto him, but he will shapeshift. Matu wants to commit. Burning. There's just not a whole lot of
Wait, is he going back in?
It looks like they want to commit here, but meanwhile, top lane, GH could get called out. Matumba Man getting that Q kill, but they're going to lose the Keeper again, so IG do retaliate. Liquid now chewing through the Frost armor here, trying to work on that tower. Objectives are essential, but the split push is there. The Alk illusions, granted, not very quickly, trying to take down this tier 2 in the bottom lane. Liquid do seem to gain the edge here when it comes to that oh-so-important map control as they knock the tower down.
So you were asking, what is plan B for Team Liquid, right? Like, you know, right now the group up plan A is sort of working, but not to the degree that they would like it to. You were asking whether they could scale. I think trying to scale against an Alchemist lineup is always very dangerous. Lycan's got that Midas as his first major item, so he's building up for a long time. Yes, they can scale, but I just don't think it's a very good game plan. I think Liquid still definitely wants to just mow down towers after towers, get the next Roshan. That's the one thing that their lineup is super good at. You got the Nasal Goo, you got Ursa, obviously, to just go into the pit. So I think Liquid needs to bring down the other towers, get the next Rosh, and look to finish the game in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
A crucial part of that game plan will be this Aghanim Scepter that GH is trying to complete to sustain the team during pushes, but problem is, he's constantly being forced to buy all this extra detection.
No, Kuro's been buying that. Like, Kuro's being very, very self-sacrificial. I think the bigger problem is that Sand King is hunting him. He's just died twice.
Well, and the Ricky. Ricky's been all over.
And guess where XSS is? Right next to GH, about to hunt him down again. He understands that this is a big part of the push.
Bottom. Q maybe wants to go here. The Epi comes through. Connection on Miracle. Can they finish him? He manages to jump away. One hit from death. He's not out of there. Just shoves himself in. and gives him the old Scorpion Claw. Now Baboka hunting for that follow-up. He moves on to GH, again, just continuing to shut down his farm, force him on his heels. He does have the TP if need be, but the bait is there, and the tricks of the trade still may go down, though. The Ice Blast setting up the timings right from Kuro. The trap has been sprung. GH staying alive thanks to help from an old friend.
And I think that's again, like you mentioned, even though he died there, it's absolutely fine. We're going to watch this team fight one more time. XSS identifies that Monkey King is the target that he wants, quickly goes on it. The Force Staff almost saves him, but XSS, again, the ninja coming in.
They're down a lot, Lumi. 10,000 gold. Granted, it is an alkaline up and there's a Midas, so you don't fully feel the effects in terms of combat, but it's getting far enough ahead that IG have basically made up for that greed early, and now are really starting to dish out the damage. Liquid still holding the Aegis for a wee bit longer. They'd love to find a couple of follow-up kills, maybe make a play, but in the bottom lane, it's IG who gets the jump. They burrow in, commit for this Bristle. Can he stay alive? Tries to retreat with the Solar Crest, the mech. It's not enough. IG throw the kitchen sink. And
Here comes Ursa.
It will clip him for now. The Frost Armor keeping Q alive. Nice follow-up there. XXS with the save. The off-lane Sand King buying time, creating space. Liquid cannot reply.
I think if Ursa was there earlier with the Ice Blast, he was going to be able to pick up like 2 to 3 kills. Unfortunately, just lacks the vision to prepare for any kind of IG gank. Speaking of vision, Boboga has picked up a gem as well, so he's going to be able to walk around the map and give even more trouble to the Liquid supports.
Meanwhile, it's starting to feel like that's something Liquid are going to want.
Oh,
to do with the Lycan Wolves.
If they could kill Ricky, they
that's
could
a
pick
big
up
kill
his...
from Matumba Man.
Yep.
Again, the bear proves his supremacy.
I mean, here's the thing, though. You were asking, what is this Ursa going to do in the mid-game? And I said, he needs to jump in and get hero kills. How many times have we actually seen that? Like, that's maybe his second, third solo kill. And I just don't think that's enough to carry Team Liquid out of the hole that they're in. I feel like the Sand King has perhaps done that job better than he has so far.
They have 13 kills, and he has been in on 11 of them, so...
Well, hold that thought here as Matumba Man jumps in again, looks for Q. We'll find another solo kill. All right. But he gets Yule Scepter up.
Oh, not worth it if he dies. Matu in trouble. Does manage to get off the Enrage. No more Aegis for him. He's gone in deep for this. The Ice Blast coming in, but nothing to combo with it. The timing was not right for Matumba Man. Just forcing it too far and costly death.
I think this is a good time to actually toggle between the Radiant and Dire Vision and just look at the big disparity between the two teams. Radiant, only one war up on the map, much thanks to Boboka's gem. Dire, wards everywhere, deep into the enemy jungle. And this is not counting in the fact that, hey, there's a Ricky running around. But I think the answer has finally come here in the form of the Keeper of Light, Aghanim Scepter. During daytime, he will have flying vision around him, and if he could pick up a gem.
Mind control on his own bottom. Does have that AA behind him, but no real save. In comes Hal to start the fight, gets the stun up. They're going to follow this up. Burning racing forward. They do have the Chain Frost to cancel TP. Curl locks in the Ice Blast, but do they really want to fight? More are coming as Liquid stream in. Baboka scouts out the rotation.
He can't die. He has the gem. Oh, no, he dropped the gem. Just kidding. He's fine.
And so crucial, again, the Ricky is allowing them to choose their fights wisely.
Yes.
Otherwise, Liquid likely get into position with 4 or 5 and might just overrun IG. But they do take the tower down. Give him 3. Baboka continues to add to the coffers of IG. Liquid, alarmed, are going to force the issue, but with the Frost Armor and all their tower damage just being these melee hitters, it is fairly slow going. They'll take the tier 2 down.
I think this is a group of push. They have mech, they have daytime with the Aghanim Scepter. They're going to just look to try to win it or get some big, big damage coming in.
They do not have a pipe, though. They have 1 hood, so Epicenter could be huge.
Yeah, well, if they could land it, that's a question. Matumba Man down to about half HP. They're going to go right on Matumba Man. The heal coming in from Keeper of Light, but the Chain Frost bouncing around. Ultimate committed by Matumba Man. Can he make the retreat? It looks like he'll be fine for now, but already very low HP. Again, Keeper could juice him right back up, and I don't think Liquid is going anywhere. That's Chain Frost now.
Chain Frost down. What more will follow? Lycan not split pushing. Meanwhile, Burning's trying to get out of the jungle and into the top lane, but it's going to take him a while to get there, while for Liquid, this journey is rapidly taking form. Mind control thwacking away, just poking, prodding, staying out in front. Matumba Man lurking on the side, wants to find the opening here. Did just have vision for a moment of XXS. Not actually hidden. Liquid, no, he's in the neighborhood. He's going to try for the epicenter, but Matumba Man's there to interrupt this initiation. Great presence of mind from him. The burrow coming through, connecting on two, but look at the heals. GH, the engine that keeps the push going. Now they deploy the Monkey King Wukong's command. Still, though, IG get the AA kill. They stay alive, but Boca's in through the rear. He blinks out. He will get decapitated. Liquid not hitting objectives.
Coming
they want to cage the Alchemist,
from the
though.
back.
They hit it with
coming in.
Glass, looking for more, but XXS with the rescue plays the triple burrow. Liquid still committing. They will bring him down. This push just won't stop. Finally, Burning gets a follow-up kill. It was one buyback already for Liquid. They need this tower. They might need more. IG know its importance. They won't get it up freely. They don't want to lose their shrines. They're going to get the follow-up kill. That's a dieback on the Ancient Apparition. Huge commitment from him to try and take this tower down, and now the chase is on. They can rout them in the rear by control. He gets up the quills. Matu with the assist. Can they bring the bristle down? He's also tanky him, but Boca continues pursuit, but it's slow. They need damage. They need control. He keeps on running. The Wolves come in. They get him from the front, and IG
needs
will
to
slay him.
go into the Roche right now. They cannot give away Aegis on top of Team Liquid. Did you see how brutal that push was? Sure, it was a slow push thanks to the things like Frost Armor as well as Acid Spray, but like you saw, the Illuminate just kept healing them up, and there was no answer for IG. It wasn't until the Lycanthrope came back and just backstab on the back line. They need to kill Keeper of Light before the fight actually happens, or else there's no way that IG, despite their net worth lead, could actually beat Team Liquid right now. I think it's important to take away the Aegis.
Another thing that Liquid had in that fight is vision. They did not have vision advantage in the first game. This time it's different. With the Keeper of the Light, you have the flying vision during daytime. They also have the ice vortexes, so IG have not been able, at least in that scenario, to get the clear jump. Like last game, they always had vision supremacy with Lycan, Batrider, and Night Stalker.
Yes.
This game, not the case.
And we saw what Monkey King was able to do in that last team fight. Sure, he's very, very underfarmed, but his big contribution in that team fight was just drop his Wukong command. Once the command's out, there's two things that happen. First, your PC lags. Second, it also makes it super hard for IG to actually go into the area and defend their building, despite Acid Spray, despite Frost Armor. So Team Liquid now working on the Aegis. This one will come with Aegis and Cheese.
IG want to fight it, though. Matu taking it down fast. The Roche about to fall. Indeed it will. Blasting XXS up to the high ground. He's forced to retreat. IG are going to fight into this Aegis, and I think this time, Lumi, it'll come when Liquid are at their door, not just Ursa running in solo looking for kills as it's about to expire.
There's about 2 minutes left for IG because I think Team Liquid will definitely wait for daytime. So do what you can, OP. Split push as hard as possible and get whatever item that you deem necessary. It looks like he's working towards a Shiva's Guard. He's likely going to be able to finish it before the push comes, but it depends if he wants to retain buyback.
Big Shiva's game, especially when you start stacking that attack speed slow and and the move speed with the ice armor. Liquid, basically, to finish kills, they're relying on 3 melee heroes right-clicking. Granted, Monkey King has pretty long range with the Jingu, but nonetheless, it will be a potential counter. Sprinting through the trees with a double damager and a freshly completed Desolator. Miracle could be a huge damage dealer in this fight. He does drop down into a camp while the flank takes form. Matumba Man coming in first, the TP onto the Wolves, and now blinking into position. Miracle trying to bring down Q early, lobs out the chain frost. It's a bouncing beautifully. Massive damage from the Lich, and now Miracle standing his ground, fighting out that Lycan. The Wukong's command will end. The pain might begin now. Matu on the run, very low, but has the Aegis. Second life also for mind control with the cheese. Can they win round 2? It doesn't seem like it. The follow-up now begins, but the kiting XXS still alive, burrowing onto the Ursa. Bear being dealt with for now. OP low, not dead just yet. GH salvaging, they get 3. Liquid prevail, but they had to spend a lot there, Lumi. They blew the Aegis, they blew the cheese, they did it outside the base. So they won't be able to threaten high ground with their full complement. At the same time, there's no out buyback
Center
here.
coming in from the back line
for him, and now the Epi onto Batu from the rear. They get the Ursa. That might force mind control back. The wheels might have just come off of this push. Mind control slow to retreat, but the Caustic is going to make this a bit trickier.
I don't think they can win that fight. They're going to try. It's going to be close here as mind control.
Purge hit him from the front. Baboka with the tricks, looking for the clean trade, and now
still a
taking
bristleback. I don't know if you want to go in. They're so
they do.
Finally,
IG.
Caustic
It's a
burns?
spiky mouthful.
I don't know about this, man.
Still the commitment. Still the commitment.
Oh, here comes Monkey King. Get out, get out. You're not going to get the kill. Ice Blast comes in. Baboka gets strike. Jim hits the deck, and now Monkey King jumps forward.
IG getting sloppy, getting desperate. Liquid able to take advantage. Can they get more? They group up top. They want to end this game.
It's daytime.
Fast.
It's
in a
daytime.
hurry.
Here comes Team Liquid. What are you going to do against this? No H's, no Chiefs, whatever. They're going to pull back everybody with global recall, and they're going to just hit buildings.
Liquid laying into the tier 1 tower. Ice Armor slowing them down as best it can. But the siege is on now. Glyph gets forced out. The whole gang is back. They try to kite the bristle, slow him down. But Liquid are determined. The sun also rises as this melee Rax drops lower and lower. Liquid will take it. One lane now opened up. Range to fall as well.
And the big thing that during this push, Miracle has that Desolator, so the minus armor really ticking into and then basically counteracting what the Frost armor could do in these team fights. Instead of going mid, they will go to the bottom. The bottom tower is much lower and the shrines are more spread apart, making this defense here for IG much, much harder to come by.
Upper bracket lives on the line. Liquid are doing it, working on the melee Rex. IG must respond, and they must do it soon. They look for the flag. XXS revving up the epi, but what's he gonna hit?
They see him.
A swing, a miss. He gets nothing. Now Liquid chasing forward, IG racing in. They want to kill that keeper, but GH elusive. They finally get onto him, isolating him in the trees. Goes for the TP out. Where's the stuns? There are none. Away he goes, but still this does leave Matumbo Man stranded. The Ursa in a bit too far is gonna fall. Now the Bristleback being overwhelmed, slowing him down with the Shivas. Miracle has to watch him as he slowly gets chipped away at. He's in the trees, hiding for what he can. Still GH back into the fray, keeping his team alive. Overextending perhaps, Baboka could be punished. A staggered retreat, but IG aren't ready to give up the chase just yet. They keep on pushing forward. They want more. Buyback again. Ursa looking for the punish. He gets the kill. The Riki's down. And Lumi, that's a dieback. No smoke cloud for this fight. Liquid are very close. That melee Rex a bit over half HP. Can they hold the line?
Lycan Shapeshift down for 25 seconds. I think without the Shapeshift and the Riki, they have no way to stick on GH. GH is the most important hero right now. In fact, it's going to be Radiant jumping in. They want the Sanking. Ice Blast coming in, and they bounce it back in. GH with the alley-oop play. Team Liquid going on the Raxus, and you're right, LD. They are doing it. Another set of Rax. Miracle, man fighting up against OP.
Commitment from Mind Control. It's all about that melee. Slowly but surely, the mace does its work. One more swing. Down it goes. 2 lanes for Liquid. They are hanging on, keeping the upper bracket dream alive. Now back to the Sandcade. They need the 3rd lane. IG are scrappy. They won't give up easy. But Liquid have the creep advantage now. 2 lanes shoving in. It's a 3-pronged assault. They keep the push going. Now the tower falls, 1 last lane remains. That's all that stands between Liquid and a game 3. Effigy's biting the dust, and now the fight breaking out. But Tumba Man control when he gets off the enrage. He takes through it all. The Chain Frost bouncing. Woo! Beautiful stuff from the carry Lich as Q keeps his team in the game.
Go for
GH being chased. They're gonna bring him down. IG not out of this yet. Pounding into the Ursa. He tries to fight it out, but the Ice Armor's there. The evasion is as well, and he can't get the kill. 3 fall for Liquid. Close.
Not done
but
yet.
Not over yet.
Sand King teleports in, finds Mind Control. You'll set up. Here comes Cavalry. All 5 still alive for IG. They isolate him. They bring him down.
Wants to help. He's waiting in position. Can Mind Control possibly get out of here? The Quills are stacking up. He's slow. He gets hit from the front. He will fall.
All right,
IG,
damage control. Damage control.
What a hole they are in now.
Go back to base. Push out the waves. OP can't do that. He is an alchemist. Somebody's got to watch out for bottom. You see the key differences in these team fights is IG's ability to isolate QH. GH, sorry. You gotta kill GH, and you make sure that he doesn't constantly give him mana, give him HP through his Illuminate. He also makes buyback super crucial. Ursa bought back during that middle team fight, and he was able to get recalled in instantly. You kill GH, and you have a chance.
Yeah, they are definitely identifying him as public enemy #1. IG
Run him down,
chasing him out. There's the Glimmer. He's got the Ghost Scepter as well. The Wukong's command drop. Saving Private GH is the call. But in goes OP. Diving deeper for this. He turns back for Kuro. The rest of the team takes the Keeper down. He's got the buyback. Kuro does not. And pouncing away, Miracle retreats to the confines of high ground. The base slowly being chipped from north and south as Liquid's creeps are doing what the heroes can't right now.
Don't worry about it, LD. They regen. Tier 4 towers regen. They're okay. They're going to keep pushing.
They are killing out the buffer buildings, though.
That's true.
IG still trying to force the issue here. Miracle looking to slow them down, and XXS with the pursuit. No jukes from you, Miracle, they say. The stuns get lobbed in. The blink forward. IG not out of it yet. Kill after kill coming their way. Towers are falling. Liquid perhaps feeling a bit overconfident. And onto your hats, folks.
IG could just force a Rax out. His Keeper is back in 5 seconds. Again, how much can he kite?
Whether they have the Ice Blast, Lumi. It's a lot of push from IG, mauling this tower down. Mind Control gets in, but the Frost Armor protects them. Tower falls. The stall. It's all about GH now, it feels.
Well, Lycan and Wolf form just getting completely stunned up by GH. They want to go and double force that, pushes him back.
Good kiting. Liquid stalling nicely here, forcing Burning Low. He may have to retreat. That leaves OP on his own. He's got the BOTs, Manta out. TP away.
And he
no
bashes.
bash.
Oh. There is a basher available in that Ursa. Unfortunately,
they're not done yet. They're still chasing Mind Control.
Okay.
Has the gem.
And you're right, LD, they need to start pushing out the base. I did say, you know, Tier 4 do regen, but
it's slow.
Yeah, it's slow.
They took some heavy damage as those waves kept on shoving
But hey, that was a big turn of event for IG. You know, they got a couple of buildings, got a couple of extra kills, and more importantly, they got Team Liquid off their back for a little bit. But again, the third Roshan, I mentioned how important the second Rosh was in terms of taking 2 lanes of Rax. The third one just as important, and I don't think Team Liquid will be challenged here. Although, as I say that, IG smokes out.
IG love challenging. They rotate around XXS with an Arcane Rune, so the low cooldown stun in play in this fight.
Where's GH?
Finds GH. Oh, almost. There you go. Burrows in, still clips him, and now the connection is Baboka surges forward. GH stays alive. The Glimmer cape enough to keep him in fighting shape, but Bernie now nipping at his heels. Ghost Scepter doing what it can. Finally, they will slay the beast. He instantly buys back. They know how crucial this Keeper is. They know they can't afford to give up this Rosh. Liquid are committing for it, and now it's the Sand King they want. The Sand King they might get. Burrows away, looks for the save with the Lotus Orb coming through. Will it be enough? They'd rather sack the Riki, but that is a gem down.
In fact, I don't think there are any gems available for IG, whether it's on their heroes or in their shop. So they're going to be playing without vision for a while. The buyback here from GH secures of Roshan, Aegis, and Cheese into the coffers of Team Liquid. And we are still in the same situation where IG is down by 2 sets of Rax.
Somebody wants that cheese, surely.
Okay.
Here goes Miracle.
Fermenting does not work in Dota 2.
That is already moldy cheese.
Yes.
It can't get any smellier. But it still heals when you need it. And Liquid, they've got plenty coming from GH. Now, Lumi, if he dies in this push, that could be a big problem. Because we've seen how important he is to their team fight. Liquid are smoking in. They're just looking to dive. An early assault on this melee Rax, perhaps finding kills to start it off. Let's see. The jump comes through, but the Sand King there with the kite. Bashing off the walls. XXS, he burrows back to safety. Liquid have gone really deep for this kill. Ice Blast streaming into the fountain.
Dodge that Ice Blast. Bang, he's gone. Sanking out for 100 seconds.
That might be it. Liquid just got to push these lanes in, but look at the waves. They're being cut by the Alk. Illusions denying these creeps. Buying time, but creeps are coming top. Mind Control. Thwack, thwack, thwack. Continues to work. Miracle at his side.
Bobuka going in on the back line. He's going for the kill on Kuroki. Kuroki forced that back out. He's jumping back in. He wants Kuroki. Miracle comes in though. They get Bobuka. Chain Frost will finish the job of 1-for-1 trade.
IG are down both supports now. That AA has buyback. OP now comes in one at a time into the meat grinder. Commitment here, but that Brisket Bristle stays alive, very tanky. They keep on nipping at his heels, but can they bring him down? OP diving him. Now Matu looking to bail out his buddy with the turnaround. Liquid once more under the breach, and they have done it. Game 3 awaits.
LD, you want a crazy statistic?
Sure.
IG was leading in gold the entire game. Just shows you that sometimes gold isn't everything. Just because you got Greevo Greed, just because you're farming well, the pressure from Team Liquid, that GH Aghanim Scepter was so key.
What a resilient showing here in game number 2 from Team Liquid. They were up against it. You could sense the urgency. The Alk was free farming, the Lycan was catching up. The Riki killed the Courier 3 times, constantly warding, slowing down their overall game plan, but Liquid shows their timings well, and they show a lot of poise here under pressure. With that, game 3 on the horizon, but first, to break it down, it's back to Day9 and the boys.
Thanks so much. What a match, especially after that draft as we stepped off stage. PPD, the draft hurt you for Team Liquid. Physically, there was pain because they didn't have any strong disables.
Yeah, but it worked out. Caudal Ag's got really good timing on GH as expected, as he always does when he plays that hero, and they used that timing to force IG to fight them, and IG didn't have the best team fight other than the Sand King.
I remember there was a moment in there, the big team fight around 20-25 minutes where the Alchemist fell immediately. I mean, that looked like the big turning moment. Was that in your eyes, Ake? Do you think Team Liquid was behind, or do you think that they won lanes enough in the early game?
They were behind, but they just played around the Codalags, as PPD said. I think it was the fight on the right side at tier 3 towers where they were fighting for so long and just healing up and shipping that tower until IG felt that they just had to take the fight, and when they did, they just lost it. So
a lot of Alchemists love to play greedy and push as far as they possibly can. But you were talking about the Ancient Apparition pick being one of your favorites against Alchemist, so Alchemist was constantly worried about dying, whereas before you would just regen it all, right?
I think XSS had such an amazing opening in that game with Sand King. There was a point in time where Alchemist was first in net worth, and Sand King was second above every other player in the entire match, which is really, feels a little unusual, but he was able to get so many kills in the early game.
And Burning, I don't know, he wasn't there the whole game. But he was just,
he had one last hit in like the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah,
they
got shut down.
It just comes down to the Call and Bristol being super good against him in the early game, and then Ursa is good against him in the mid game as well.
The Lich used his early game time and his early game advantage in the lanes to help out the Sand King, which allowed him to get an early Blink Dagger, which had a huge impact on the game, allowed them to secure a lot of kills. But Lycan really just never really came online. He was just too far behind from the beginning.
To highlight some of the key moments in this match is the best weatherman the world has ever seen. His name is Purge. Kevin, what were your thoughts on the match?
It was a really good game, and one thing I wanted to focus on was the draft and some of the same elements that you guys were touching on. So in the first game, you guys probably caught it. It was an Alchemist running wild and pretty much just making the game look easy for IG. So as a result, Liquid wanted to deal with Ursa. That way the matchup was good. He could zone him from getting last hits in the lane, and that was really effective. But to deal with that, IG picked the Lich in their 4th spot, and that basically meant that no matter what, Liquid was going to have trouble getting as much experience in their safe lane. They tried to deal with this by grabbing a Monkey King, which was great and all, but Lich's big advantage is that he's removing 40% of the experience that the enemy carry is going to get about every minute, which is way more levels and gold for their lane. And it also has the other effect that it's going to mean that the lane's constantly pushing towards their base. So even if Liquid wanted to do something about this, they didn't have the space to do so because the lane was always going to be more shoved in towards them. And this ultimately culminated in a huge moment. I mean, if you look at the gold advantage at this point in the game, it's a huge advantage for the Alchemist team. Like, the net worth in the upper left is massive. The Alchemist has more farm than anybody else. And it really just all came down to this push. Was Liquid's draft going to work? And I really like what they did with the Monkey King. It was a hero that could still succeed despite being behind in farm. And Caudal Eggs definitely was an integral moment to making sure that they could get that Rax eventually.
Yeah, I'm especially curious about the Monkey King pick, because when it was first released, I know a lot of people in pub matches were going crazy about Monkey King carry, and then as time went on, a lot of people were doing roaming Monkey Kings, but I don't really know much about Monkey King in a carry role, as we saw with Miracle. I mean, what are your thoughts, Marlene?
We don't really see it that often. I think he did come in clutch a lot of time with a Boundless Strike, Shaker's banned versus them a lot of the time, so it's kind of a replacement for Shaker in that, but it also just does a ton more damage. Also, I think his armor on his ultimate is really underrated. I think you get like, what, 20 armor?
Yes, 20
later
armor.
on in the game, and then you're versus Alk and you're versus an underfarmed Lycan. So even though XSS was very, very farmed, he still died occasionally, but pretty rarely.
Now, with Game 3 coming up, obviously a lot of people are super excited that we are going to Game 3. Some of us were moaning that Team Liquid, who did so well in group stages, might just be out in 2 quick games. But coming up here in Game 3, I want to talk about shifting gears. Whether it's Team Liquid is trying to bring something new to the table, whether it is Team Liquid needs to change, because we've already sort of seen some patterns from IG focusing around Alchemist.
I think that anytime you can get GH on Whisper or Coddle, I think that they are the heavy favorites to win. I thought that was a pretty big mistake by IG to allow that to go through. We saw how much we saw how little impact he had on the Visage in Game 1. You know, one of these heroes outside his comfort zone.
I mean, it was the first picked hero, too. Just like straight out the gate. They just did not want to risk getting GH on not one of his comfort heroes.
I think that they should be very comfortable and confident in first picking either Whisper Coddle, and I think IG was smart to ban both of those in the first game.
Yeah.
They are probably going to pick something similar to GH. Like if they ban a Whisper Coddle, they're going to get something that he can actually do something with, like a roaming hero rather than Visage, who's just standing there farming.
Yep. Enable your best player to allow, like he makes Liquid win games. So if you put him on a hero like Visage, he can't really do that from that position.
And I'm curious, Marlene, we've talked a little bit about Team Liquid because they were the ones that made, the really big shift in this game. Do you think that IG needs to adjust their strategy? Do you think that, Game 1 was such an incredible display of team coordination. What's your evaluation of them going into Game 3?
Well, we did like the draft from them in Game number 1 because it was Alchemist's last pick, and then when you pick it in the first phase, even though you won with it in the first game, they had counters to it, and they didn't even ban it out in the second phase. That's sometimes like the benefit of picking Alchemist in the second pick in the first phase. Like, oh, okay, we can ban out the counters, but they let AA and Ursa get through, and as we saw, they were 10K up net worth, pretty much all on the Alch, and he still got slaughtered.
So, do you think that the burden is then on IG to get the correct bans?
Just better draft, I think. They tried
just not Alch second.
the opening 2 was rough.
Yeah.
Lycan and Alch both are pretty susceptible to being punished in lane, and we saw the Alchemist get a little bit of help, but they left Lycan out on an island, and he was very, very far behind. You commented like 5 minutes, he had like 1 CS, and they lost that tower super fast to Bristle Coddle. And
very proud of his CS. It was his favorite CS.
Boko was like, I'm going for couriers. Good luck learning. Best.
Oh, that was painful to see right at the start of the game. It was when the courier died. I was like,
his Ricky was impressive. That entire game, I thought he played amazing. I thought they were going to win.
Yeah, it's pretty critical to know that every time Baboka did die, he was deep into the enemy jungle with multiple heroes on him and several of the lanes being pushed in. It's not even the biggest win to pick him off at that point.
Exactly. Deaths on the opponent's side of the map oftentimes don't lead to you losing objectives, so they're a little bit more forgiving than deaths on your side.
And it's also a way for them to give space to Alk so he can find farm without being afraid.
Absolutely.
Space created.
Yeah.
Chat wheel.
I thought it was especially cool how Team Liquid really did do amazingly well in that lane against Lycan, and I feel like some of the big themes of the match was Ursa is really good against Alchemist, and we finally got to see farm on Bristleback. The previous draft, it seemed like IG had these four heroes are designed around the Alchemist, designed to protect them, but it seemed like a lot of individual counter picks on Team Liquid's side that led them to victory. I'm still trying to really figure out the Team Liquid draft in the last game.
It's also the thing that they last picked Alk the first game, so they did right, or was it? Yeah.
Yes,
so they didn't really give any space for Liquid to counterpick it that game. But as we saw here now, if you can counterpick the hero, it's not as good as it is as a last pick.
Yeah. Even that said, I was amazed at OP's ability to just gobble up all the farms so quickly. He had so much money so early in that game.
That's what Alchemists do, but Ancient Apparition is a great anti-carry. You can focus down somebody and you can really punish them, put them down.
Well, it is my absolute pleasure to let you know that Game 3 between Team Liquid and IG is beginning right now. Not now. It's not right now. I lied to you, and for that I'm very sorry. So let's just continue to talk about drafting.